Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your
hosts,
Mike.
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. I don't know how many of you realize that there's an uncensored version of this show. And when I say uncensored version of this show, I don't mean like topics are rehashed or anything like that. Yeah, sometimes there's crossover between the two shows, but they're just literally uncensored. Things that we think here but don't say, we just say.
The Nightly Rant Uncensored, now with 79% more cuss words.
And that's at imzoo.com for a small subscription fee each month. But go check it out. We're having a special until the end of the year where you sign up for a month. And if you stay for a second month, we go ahead and give you back an Amazon gift card in the amount of that monthly subscription. So if you sign up at a $10 level, and you pay that first month $10, as soon as you process your payment for the second $10, we turn around and issue you an Amazon gift card in the amount of $10. So it effectively costs you nothing for your second month. But that gives you time to try us out and see how awesome the content is over there. Because you're going to get the classic Nightly Rant Uncensored, like where we talked about last night, who we would F, who we would marry, and who we would kill. And someone threw someone else the massive curveball with like the impossible to answer series. And somehow someone thought quick on their feet and got out of it. Gracefully, I might add.
I'm not sure it was so quick. It took like 10 minutes of deliberation.
I figured it out. And now we know who the someone was who threw the curveball. It was you. But that's all stuff that you can get over there at imzoo.com. And it's truly uncensored. No holds barred. Now, sometimes what will happen is there'll be a topic that's just too good not to talk about, but you don't want to reveal the name for whatever reason.
Like that episode we had about the dude who wasn't qualified for public office.
Right. And we don't mention the name here, but behind the paywall, we mention the name.
With 79% more cuss words.
And it's... Like I say, those are some of the similar crossovers that we've done, but really we don't do a lot of crossover. We keep selecting topics the same way we select topics for this show, only when we pick it for that show, we just don't censor ourselves. We say whatever's on our mind.
We have some pretty exciting ideas upcoming for that one, too.
Yeah.
There are way more topics that I like to talk about that we have to put on the Uncensored show than topics I like to talk about for this show.
Okay. Question.
Maybe I'll give you
what
an
is
answer.
It you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. What is it you wanted to talk about?
You had a thing that you wanted to talk about. We talked about it before we came on the air.
Oh. The idiots.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
I don't do open topics. That's your job.
Open topics?
You're supposed to start talking about something? It's how we always do it.
Well, I did. I started the whole show.
Ugh.
And you said maybe 12 seconds worth of stuff in the first one.
Whoosh.
So get going. Let's hear your thoughts on the
I already ranted about this.
At the city council. Yeah, but people...
They're all assholes.
Heard it. They have to pay for that to hear that on the Uncensored.
They're all assholes.
Well,
all the
wasn't it
people
interesting?
that we interacted with were a giant pile of assholes.
Wasn't it interesting that the lady in front of us was there specifically supporting someone, and refused to stand and clap for that person's fallen opponent.
Yeah, because she's an inconsiderate, disrespectful butt weasel.
And then when that person was called up to take oath, they were screaming out loud like they were at a Dodger game.
I remember asking you a few days before we went if it would be inappropriate to boo when the person we don't like was taking her oath. And you told me that wasn't appropriate.
And I don't think it is.
So I restrained myself. I did not boo. And then the stupid asshole is up there and everybody's clapping after she takes her oath. And all I hear is like, woo! Woo! Like, how is that appropriate if my booing is not appropriate, you psychotic bunch of dumbasses?
Well, and that's just it. It isn't appropriate. It's not a sporting event. It's supposed to be an orderly transition of government. It's not very orderly when you're hooting and hollering.
You know what? I was less offended by that than I was about the stupid asshole who thought she could continuously lean over me.
Oh my gosh, someone invaded your personal space that I'm not even allowed to invade.
I don't appreciate people who invade my personal space. I don't like it. When I'm sitting in a public place within the confines of my seat, get the fuck away from me. It's my seat. I've laid claim on it with my butt.
You know what, though? You are the type of person that with other people, you want your personal space. But with your animals, you want them all over you.
Maybe.
But that means you trust the animals more than you trust the people.
Also, I was specific when I was telling the story about my personal space. I specified in a public place. I don't like it. I don't like to be touched. I don't particularly like to be hugged in public places most of the time. I don't like other people in my bubble. It makes me uncomfortable because I get
what I just said.
But it's fine in the house. The animals are in the house.
But if Yogi's out with you in public, you have zero problem snuggling him and kissing him and holding him and hugging him.
But I don't like him to kiss me.
Zero problem.
Because it distracts me. And then the Muffin Man could attack at any minute.
Zero problems. I watch you with Duncan. Zero problems.
The Muffin Man could attack at any minute.
Because you trust the animals and you don't trust the humans.
At any minute.
I shouldn't say you don't trust them. It could be that you trust the animals 100% and you only trust the humans 99%.
I explicitly did not especially did not trust the psycho who was leaning across my lap. I didn't realize I invited some skinny little loon bag to sit on my lap during the city council swearing in.
Yeah.
She took up like 1/8 of her seat. That's how small she was. Yet she still had to invade my personal space.
Well, because she was talking to the crazy person that was in front of me that thought she was at a football game. Screaming and yelling, hooting and hollering.
And then I decide that I've had enough of her like leaning across me, and I go, "Excuse me," and she's like, "Oh, so sorry." Like, are you too fucking stupid to have realized that you were leaning across a whole entire person, you oblivious pile of dog shit?
Have you guys ever noticed that when you listen to the uncensored version, the cuss words come out of my mouth like they're just a part of me. They just come out of my mouth like crazy. But the 98.94% of the time that we've had to use an explicit tag on this show,
it's been my fault.
It's been her fault.
I think you should just bleep me. I think it's funnier.
There are just topics where sometimes I do bleep you. It all depends on how much. Well, no, it all depends on how much. If you're going to drop 3 F-bombs in a row, I'm not going to. If it doesn't take away the context, I'm going to bleep them because I'm not going to take an explicit tag for that. But if you go on a 5-minute rant where you're dropping an F-bomb every 10 seconds, I'm not bleeping all that. That's ridiculous. We're just taking the E and moving on.
I think that our next topic on the Nightly Rant Uncensored should be you training me on what words that you have to bleep in our regular podcast. And I'll say all of them loudly with different intonations just for you.
That's funny. I would like that. That would be funny. You realize I just said something kind of funny that, we will take the E.
I don't
Go down
believe
the
in
letter
taking
in the
E.
alphabet.
And no D is being taken on our podcast either. This is not that kind of podcast, you pervert.
Until this very second, I never thought of what you just said as a topic. But I'm willing to bet you, because of how I've noticed the podcast world is, there are people. You can get me started on something now.
Oh, shit.
There are people who, as a podcast topic, have like collectors of yellow beach man pack turd turtles with purple polka dots.
Wow, could you be any more ridiculously specific?
And they're people that's they've got that. They've got that shit. They're so specific. Now I forgot what I was saying. I did too. What was I saying right before that?
We were talking about the topic that I decided we should talk about on the Nightly Rant Uncensored.
Oh yeah, and then I said that they made that's what it was. It was a joke between the E and the D. That's right, I forgot. Yeah. The people, I don't know. People are weird. I think, you know what I think is interesting right now is all the people that, all right, so you see these discussions and you got person A is like, well, 4 years ago, blah, 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 did blah, blah, blah. So why are you talking about Donald Trump doing it? And then they go, well, 4 years ago when blah, blah, blah did it, that's all you complained about. So why are you defending Donald Trump for doing it? Well, you know what? From my, fair justice perspective, they're both at fault.
Yeah.
Because they both should have complained about it both times.
Do you want to know what I think is most irrational about the situation you're talking about? Oof. Jesus. I just assaulted a cat and then she assaulted a dog. Sorry, animals. Anyway, what I think is most ridiculous about what you just said, okay, so both of the people in question are Americans. Both of the people in question are politically inclined. They clearly have things in common. Why is it so fucking far-fetched, so far-fetched to think that they could possibly have policies in common between a Republican and a Democrat? Why is that so far-fetched to so many dumb people?
Well, because as soon as they hear the label that they're not,
they get all sorts of feisty. I know.
They get
people
really
are stupid.
feisty, exactly, and they kind of lose their mind. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, okay, if Obama wanted to deport illegal criminals 4 years ago,
which he did,
Democrats were for it and Republicans were against it,
which they were,
then now Trump wants to deport illegal criminals. The Republicans are now for it and the Democrats are now against it. And then as defense, the Democrats turn around and say to the Republicans, well, hold on a second. How can you complain about us defending it when you were against it when Obama did it? Well, yeah, you're right. If it was wrong,
then it was always wrong.
Then it's been wrong, period. So both of them are wrong for thinking that. It doesn't matter that, Obama's on my team, so therefore I can accept him saying it. I mean, that's an interesting kind of analogy, too, because I came up, in world playing sports, and I had a coach for probably, of my 14 years, I probably had the same coach for probably 9 of the years, so imagine how much he influenced me and how I look at the game. And that bro said, always respect the rules of the game. And he was like, you don't intentionally break the rules, but if you're running down the base path and you can kind of take the other guy out so he's not going to make the double play. Technically, that's a violation of the rules, but you do it as close to the edge as you can, like you're 99.9% legal, and just that 0.1% that you're not legal. And you hope that the umpire sides with the 99.9% side. That's it. And so there's a little bit of luck involved in that. But that's the point, is you want to be a sportsman. You don't want to allow your teammate to continually cheat and just look the other way. Once in a blue moon isn't really cheating, it's just being lucky. You got lucky. So you were mostly legal and you violated the rule a little bit, and they decided that you were good. Well, you didn't really do it on purpose, so that's not cheating. Now, if you plan to, like, I don't know, put Vaseline on a baseball, which is called a spitball, it's illegal. And you know it's illegal going in. And you have to plan it because they put the Vaseline like on their brim of their hat. They put it inside their glove. They do all sorts of weird stuff.
Why does that do anything?
Makes the ball sink because it's heavier. So they'll throw it with a lot of spin and velocity and be coming at you like a fast curveball, and you're ready to hit it, and at the last second it just drops out. Whoosh, it's gone. So it gives the pitcher a big edge. But the point is, that's cheating. And if you know something like that's going on, I wouldn't go out in public and be like, oh, you sucker, you shouldn't do that. Let's say you were Clayton Kershaw's teammate and you knew he was doing that. You go to him and you go, yo, bro, I respect what you're trying to do and getting us wins and stuff, but no cheating, man. You got to put that away. You know that's a violation of the rules. And the reason you have to do that is that convincing him to stop is going to be a lot better for your team than letting him get caught. Because when he gets caught, they're going to investigate how long has he been doing it, and then they're going to likely suspend him through a formula that they use, and part of the formula is how long they think you've been doing what you were doing. Well, if they think you've been doing it for 10 years, you're going to get a pretty damn severe penalty.
As in, you'll probably never play baseball again, because by the time you can play baseball again, you'll be too old.
Exactly. It's like, it's going to be pretty severe. So you don't want that. You want to talk to your player and like calm them down and always be honest and have integrity. And I feel like that's what human beings, we struggle with that. We struggle with I'm being honest. And yeah, sometimes my honesty supports the guy on the left side. Sometimes my honesty supports the guy on the right side. You know why? Sometimes the guy on the left is right.
Because you're honest?
Sometimes the guy on the left is right and sometimes he's wrong. And sometimes the guy on the right is right and sometimes he's wrong. So that means that both sides are right part of the time and both sides are wrong part of the time. So no one who sits there and always sides with one side is ever 100% correct. It's just not possible.
I see.
Do you think it's possible?
No.
I mean, do you disagree with my theory that everybody has sometimes when they're right and sometimes when they're wrong? I mean, it's just a fact of life.
It's
You're
not
going
really
to be wrong
theory,
part of the time,
yeah.
right? Do you agree with me?
Well, according to you, you're never wrong.
But you still think I'm wrong. You think I'm wrong about never being wrong, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
At the very least. Okay, well, you're entitled to be wrong. That's okay.
I'm going to touch you with my dirty foot in a second.
We have different opinions.
Uh-huh.
That's okay, right?
Uh-huh.
But
once in a while, anyway.
That also informs future decisions that you make, though.
Yeah.
Because if you really truly believe that I'm never wrong, well, you're going to probably trust everything I say. But it's healthier to understand that I'm wrong part of the time, because then you're going to question things that I say. And that's how it should be.
Even Wikipedia is wrong sometimes.
It's wrong a lot, actually.
It's much better now than it used to be.
Yes.
Now that it has sources.
The look on Matthew's face when he had a hockey coach, his name was Vic Finasky, and he was an NHL player, former King, And I was trying to show them that Wikipedia, because back then, you know, when they were in high school, you can't trust Wikipedia, right?
Right.
And so I'm trying to show them that you can't trust Wikipedia. Well, why, Dad? Because anyone can edit it. No, they can't, Dad. There's someone who has to approve it if they edit it.
Now there is.
I literally went in to Vic Vanaski's page. I hit edit, and I put, Vic is now coaching the blah, blah, blah team out of Lakewood, California. And he has the pleasure of having as his goaltender, you know, his name, comma, the greatest goalie to ever live, period. And I save it, and he goes, ha, 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 ha. I said, go ahead, refresh the screen. He refreshes the screen. Oh, no way, it's just on your computer. He goes to his computer. He goes to the thing. He looks him up. He goes to the article. It's in there. That's when he believed me that you can't trust Wikipedia.
But now you can, because now like everybody uses Wikipedia, and it's crowdsourced, and it's all cited.
Well, yeah.
And it's magical.
What I think, for me, I think the biggest change that they made to kind of head in the right direction, and that this is where businesses could learn a thing or two. Like, they knew they needed to have some editorial control over the content. And they also knew that ultimately they were going to need human beings for that purpose. But rather than wait until they could put that infrastructure in place, they did a quick, easy fix. They just started asking people if they could provide citations to things that were in there. And once an item has been hit a certain number of times and nobody has answered the question, they delete the entire entry.
Well, I also find Wikipedia, because it is sourced from the general public and cited, to be generally unbiased.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
For example, if you look up an article about Hillary Clinton on Wikipedia, like her page, you're going to find the positive and the negative.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be there.
Start off with Hillary, a.k.a. the she-devil.
Exactly. And it doesn't start off with America's savior to women either. Like,
right.
Those are the two opposing sides.
Right.
Like, it's generally unbiased because everybody can put their sources in there. And I appreciate that. I find it very informative.
But I'm saying that...
And then I go and read the sources.
But I'm saying that was a brilliant step on their part, because they could have gone the route of hiring human editors. And they could do like Microsoft right now. Microsoft's security team, like probably 50, 60,000 people.
Right.
Just in that section alone. Because they're doing a lot of this stuff manually, on purpose. It's their chosen path. I'm not saying either path is right and either path is wrong. But I am saying I think it's pretty ingenious to use your listeners, your actual users, the people who read your stuff, to help you, number one, verify the information, and number two, add and embellish upon what you already have. So you start off with the most basic thing you know to be true, right? And then from there, people add what they know to be the truth.
Right.
And anything that's put in there, they request citations for it.
Right. And if you can't provide citations, if you're the person who started the page, like if I were to write a page about you and I couldn't provide citations, but I obviously know a crap load about you, they just leave it up there and say
that
hasn't been verified. So you know that's probably not something you should trust 100%.
Right. Their system is impeccable.
But if I want to look up like macular degeneration on Wikipedia, I can 99% trust what I'm reading, because when I scroll to the bottom, I can see the 73 scholarly sources that are used to talk about that.
You sure it's not 72? Well, you know me, I like to be specific. That's why I don't go on Wikipedia and edit entries. Because I would go cuckoo crazy doing it.
You would too.
And that would be bad because then my name would be all over all that stuff, and I don't want that.
Your name doesn't get published or anything.
It is somewhere.
Yeah, in the Wikipedia databases.
Exactly. Don't want that.
So use a fake name.
I'll say that I'm Asian. My name is Brad Lee.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, I've had enough of this topic. I've had enough of all the topics. I've just had enough.
Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.